It was a sad day in our family room, at least for me, when the plasma display I've owned since 2006 just stopped turning on. You see, plasmas have been replaced by brighter, lighter, and better for the environment LCD displays. But in my opinion, brighter isn't always beautiful. You see, plasmas delivered these rich colors, contrasted by deep blacks that LCDs have yet to match. So the question in this disposable electronics age is this: do I repair it or replace it? Well, this isn't a consumer electronics review. I actually want to switch channels and talk about something with eternal implications. One thing in particular that can't be repaired. Our heart is unfixable. Now, it may be hard to accept, but we don't have enough intelligence or skills for this job. Education is vital and valuable, but even the most educated and advanced people in the world have committed heinous crimes against humanity. Our heart, who we really are at the core, is defective. The only solution is revealed in the book of Ezekiel. It exposes a systemic problem and reveals the drastic measures required to fix it. Ezekiel was probably in his 30s when God sent him as a prophet to his people. People who were, in God's own words, obstinate and stubborn. They were described as a rebellious house. Ezekiel's book paints a disturbing portrait of the disparity between what God intended for his people and what they had become. And this disparity, as always, produced deep despair among the people. What was true then is true now. You see, the real problems aren't misogyny or racism or an endless list of other social injustices. Now, while addressing these issues is critical, and we must be passionate and tireless in our efforts to stand against them, behavior modification would only be a Band-Aid. You see, these are just the weeds, symptoms of a deeper problem that can't be fixed with new legislation. Now, we need to keep cutting the weeds for sure, but we must also attack the root. We have a heart of stone. That was the diagnosis delivered by Ezekiel. And when you have a heart of stone, well, there's no need to ask, how long do I have to live? Because you're dead already. Jeremiah, Ezekiel's contemporary, concurred, and he proclaimed, "The heart is deceitful above all things and beyond cure. Who can understand it?" The implications are, everything that flows from a heart like this will be infected and polluted. If there's pollution downstream, well, you can keep treating that water, but it would be smart to go upstream and eliminate the problem at the source. A heart of stone can't be patched up and repaired. It must be removed and replaced. And that was the plan. It's called the New Covenant. It's laid out in Ezekiel 36:26. It says, "I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh." Well, this is the most outrageous act in history. And the cost, well, the cost is absolutely unaffordable. No one has enough money or influence or resources they can leverage to pay for it. But the good news is that the cost of a new heart has already been provided by grace, and it can be immediately acquired through faith. It has been completely covered by the blood of Jesus. Ephesians 2:8-9 says, "For it is by grace you have been saved, through faith, and this is not from yourselves. It is the gift of God, not by works, so that no one can boast." So the question is, do you have a new heart? I received mine when I was 19. At the time, in my short lifetime, well, I had logged an impressive track record of religious involvement. That was followed by a brief but dark detour, driven by self-destructive experimentation. You see, my heart of stone was infecting everything from the inside out. I investigated the claims of Jesus and discovered so much more than a religious fix or a moral course correction. I saw evidence of Jesus in those who truly followed him. So I believed in him and received his grace. Now, to be clear, I didn't fix myself, and God didn't patch up my old heart. He replaced my heart of stone with a new heart. John 1:12 and 13 describes it like this. Yet to all who did receive him, to those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. Children born not of natural descent, nor of human decision, but born of God. Now, this new identity doesn't exempt us from standing in the trenches against social injustices and providing help for a fractured world. We don't hide out in some moral or religious bubble. If we're following Jesus closely, well, we actually get out more and we get more involved. We fight harder, but we fight with a broader, eternal perspective. We work to understand the reality of what is, and we dream of what could be. We recalibrate to what God intended for us, and we fight the good fight of faith with a new heart. Now, in case you were wondering, as for my plasma display, well, I found somebody who could fix it. It lasted another 18 months. Then it went down for the count, and I replaced it with this OLED TV, which I think is the next best thing to plasma.